So Quality Center basically a test management tool. What does that mean? Test management in the sense you can manage all your testing activities in one place. So normally in real time, what you do, or maybe during the manual testing classes also, you have written the test cases in one Excel sheet, and by seeing what you have written the test cases, by reading the requirements. So requirements were there in some other document, and by reading them, we have written the test cases in one more Excel sheet, and execution you have done it in the same Excel sheet, and the defect reporting has been done in one more, and at the end the reports were prepared in one more Excel sheet. So many Excel sheets and so many documents, and it will be very difficult to maintain these many documents in real time, and also it will be difficult to send across different people or share the information across different people also will be difficult. For example, in real life or in real time in the project, you will be identifying so many defects, right? So whenever you identify so many defects, every time you have to update that particular sheet and you have to share that sheet with the developers. Again, they have to update their status, again they have to send it back to you. In between, there is a chance that some information will be missing and some information might not be updated correctly. So to avoid that problem, the experts came up with a tool called Quality Center. It was a oldest tool, almost uh, 12 13 years back it was developed, and basically it was developed by a company called Mercury Interactive Corporation, and around 2008 this particular tool was acquired by HP, and recently once again this tool is acquired by another company called Micro Focus. Okay, so for the latest version the name they have given is ALM, Application Lifecycle Management. And who is going to use this tool? Okay, basically everyone, it's a very simple tool. Don't try to understand module by module. First of all, understand what is the use of it overall, and then try to relate it. It will be very easy to remember. If you try to understand part by part or field by field, it will be difficult. So the basic purpose of this particular tool is test management. That means you can manage all your testing activities in one place. So all testing activities in the sense, let me show you. Requirements, test cases, test case design, test case execution, and defect reporting, and the final test report. And not only that, the planning for the testing activity. So basically it's a STLC, software testing lifecycle. Whenever the testing phase starts, so first we'll plan for the testing, then the requirement, the BA will be providing the requirements, and based on that the testing team will be designing the test cases, and they will be executing the test cases, and during the execution if they find any kind of defects, those will be reported, and at the end we will be preparing a final test report and we will be sharing that with the stakeholders. So previously what was happening, all these were documented in different documents and it was difficult to maintain, but now that is not the case. Okay, so all will be there in only one single location. And who is going to use this tool, right? So the people from different groups like BA, developers, testers, and the management. So everyone will be using, almost all groups of people in the company will be using this tool. So for what purpose the BA will be using this tool? BA is responsible for managing the requirements, right? So BA is responsible for managing the requirements here. So he has to create the requirements and he has to update the requirements if any changes are there. And if he doesn't want to keep some requirements, he can delete them. Then developers, for which modules they are responsible here, or which modules basically they will be using. So developers will be also using. So developers also will be using the requirements module. What else? They will be using defect reporting module. Why they are going to use? Because the testing team will be reporting the defects and they have to go and read them so that they can fix those defects in the upcoming days. So that's the reason even the development team members will be using this particular module. Then the testing team members, which modules they will be using it. So testing team will be using almost all modules here. So they will be reading the requirements and based on that, they will be designing the test cases and they will be executing the test cases. What else? They will be reporting the defects and sometimes test lead will be generating the reports. Okay, so this is how, and the first one, the planning part will be taken care by either test lead or the manager or a test manager, whoever is available. Even here, the same thing. So the final test reports will be generated by the test lead or the manager, test manager or development manager, whoever is responsible for that. Okay, fine, Shanti, no problem. So I mean, I guess few people joined for some other session. I don't know for which one. Is everyone joined for only QC here, or are you guys expecting some kind of other thing? Ah, okay. So some people joined for Jira. Okay. So whoever is expecting Jira, you guys can join maybe day after tomorrow. Then from there we'll continue because today and tomorrow I will be teaching only QC class. It's not like I mean I just it was I mean the link is created for what is that? Manual testing, QC, and Jira. So today I started with QC because there was some technical problem with the Jira while registration. So that's the reason I have started with this. So if you are interested, you can go ahead with the QC class today. Otherwise, kindly join day after tomorrow. We will start with the Jira class. Yes, today I have started QC, Vina. Oh, okay. Sorry for the confusion. That is the problem. So the major problem was with registration. So there was technical problem and I couldn't create the trial version. So the Atlassian site itself had some problem. Maybe it was a server maintenance or maybe it could be something else. So that's the reason I couldn't register for that. Without registering, I cannot show that particular tool here. That is the only reason. So sorry for the inconvenience. Whoever is interested to join only for Jira class, kindly join the session day after tomorrow. For QC software, I will be providing you the registration link. So you can register for that particular tool and you can practice it. Yeah. That's what Kakshan. So the major problem was with the registration. So that's the reason I have started this particular tool. Even this is there in the schedule. So I just interchanged the schedule a little bit. That's all. But even Jira also will be covered. If you are interested, you can join the session. Otherwise, kindly drop the session and you can join day after tomorrow. Actually, I was trying to register for that tool for the last 2 days. They are not allowing you to do it because of some maintenance issue from their side. That was the problem. Yes, Trupti. Yeah, you're right. Yes, even BS will be using this particular tool. Even it is there in the schedule. So only thing is I have just interchanged it. So instead of taking Jira class in the first, I started with QC. Yeah. Go ahead, please. No problem, Kakshan. You can attend. Okay. So let's go ahead. So this is the basic background about the Quality Center tool or HPALM tool. So the basic purpose of this tool is managing all the testing related activities in one place. And not only the testing team, other groups also will be using this particular tool. As I explained before, the BAs and developers also will be using this particular tool to maintain the requirements, and the development team will be using the same tool to read the requirements and also to read the defects. Because without reading the requirements, they cannot develop the application, and without reading the defects, they cannot fix those defects. So that's the reason even they will be having the access to these modules. And the first one, the planning part will be taken care by either test lead or a test manager in real time. So is it clear till now who is going to use what modules in real time? And in real time, every person will have his individual access. That means everyone will have their own credentials to log into the application. So whenever you do some operation in that particular tool or quality center or ALM tool, so that will be stored against your name. So if you make mistake or if you make everything correctly, so that will be registered so that everyone or the management can track what exactly you guys are doing. So that's the reason we have to do it, or we have to create the test cases or requirements in the clear way. And if something is mistake, you can always go ahead and update whenever you have some time. And this is going to look like this. The quality center interface is going to look like this. So you will have a login name and password field available in the beginning of the screen itself. And as I told, everyone will be provided with the username and password. You have to log in with your own credentials here. Okay, someone has a question. Let me hand answer it. Yes, Priya?
Yeah, so you said basically QA will be accessing almost all models in this tool, right?
Yes.
So QA will have almost 100% access to this tool, or there are some functionality that is still uh, saved for some particular person.
So the dashboard module, which will be used for reporting purpose, and the
Mm-hmm.
first module, releases module, will be used by the manager. So the testing team will not be able to access only those particular modules. So I'll show you
Okay.
that now.
Okay.
And other than that, all other modules will be can access. Tester can access.
Okay.
So Prasanna is asking. Quality center is a central repository. So BA does store BRD, FRD, and RTM. So here, yes. So RTM will be created. That is the major important thing which will be created here. And yes, you can also store your BRDs and FRDs in this particular tool. I will show you how to create and where to create everything. So if you don't have this particular tool, always you have to create one more document or one more Excel sheet for RTM. But here that particular task will be easy, and also the information will be updated dynamically whenever you do some operation for a particular test case or for a particular defect. So once you enter your credentials, you have to click on authenticate button, and whenever you click on authenticate button, it will be showing you the project names here. So you might be working for multiple projects in real time, so you have to choose one of the project from the drop down. So currently I'm selecting the default one, whatever is there with this tool, and I'm clicking on login. And this quality center tool cannot be installed in the individual machine. I mean, you can install, but it's a big process. So you have to install 2003 server or 2000, any server should be installed in your system. On top of that, SQL server should be installed, and then you have to install quality center tool. Normally we will be having normal operating system, but that doesn't work. So that's the reason you have to install a server, and on top of that you have to install SQL, then the quality center. So other than that, what I am going to do here is I will be providing you a trial version which you can directly register online, and through web you can access that particular site. So that registration link I will be forwarding after the class, so you can register on your own and you can directly practice there. So it will work only for 30 days as it is a trial version. Once it is expired, again you can try with some other username. Okay, so here, once you log into the application, in the left side panel, you can see all the modules: management, requirements, business components. So here few modules will be used by only automation testers, and it requires a separate framework and license. Without that, these modules cannot be used. Even I mean, that's the reason many companies doesn't use this particular business components, and one more module whichever I am going to teach you. And test plan, test resources, test lab, defects, and dashboard. So here, as I told you before, the management module is used for planning purpose, and it will be accessed by either test lead or the test manager. And the dashboard or module also will be used by the management to generate the reports. So based on the information we have filled in all these modules, they will be generating the reports, and they will be sharing that reports with the stakeholders or other management colleagues. And also they will be taking the decision to send the application to go live or not. Suppose there are so many defects are there and most of them are in open status or in new status. So with that many defects, we cannot send the application to the production environment. So they will also use this particular module to take the decision on the quality of the application. Okay, and that's the reason these two modules will not be visible to you in real time. So these two modules access will not be there for the normal tester. So this will be accessed by only managers. And the next one is requirement module. Who and all is using this particular module? This particular requirement module will be used by the BA, developer, and tester. But developer and tester will have only read-only access. They will not be able to make any kind of changes in this particular module. So the whole responsibility of this particular module will be with BA. So he can or he or she can create the requirements, and he can delete the requirements, or he can manage the requirements by editing something here. Okay, so these are the different activities which the BA can do here. I will explain you one by one module by creating requirements and by creating the test cases and by linking everything together. So in the high level, I'm just giving an idea about each module now. And the next module is test plan module. This is the place where the testing team is going to write the test cases. So instead of writing the test cases in the Excel sheet, you can write the test cases in the test plan module. After writing the test cases, you can map these test cases with the requirements. So the traceability can be created very easily in this particular module here. So once the test plan or once the test cases are designed, what is the next step? We have to execute them. Where we should execute? We should execute these test cases in the test lab module. So once the test cases are executed, during the execution, the testing team might be identifying some defects, right? So that defects will be reported in the defect module. So this is all about this quality center tool, which is a very simple tool. Instead of maintaining multiple sheets or documents, we are maintaining everything in one central location so that everyone can easily access it. And also whenever you report a defect, on whichever the person name we have reported the defect for that particular person, the mail will be sent. So by seeing that mail, immediately he can start working on that particular defect. So that's the reason this tool became very popular. There are so many other tools also there in the market, but Quality Center or HPALM became very popular in real time. So that's the reason even we are teaching here. And now I will show you one by one module with detailed information. Before that, anyone has any questions? What is that, Preeti? Okay, quality. Is it sent automatically? You are asking about the mail? Yes. So, but that configuration needs to be done. So not only the testers and developers and BA, there is one more role which will be handling this particular quality center tool. So that particular role is quality center admin. So always you have to request him if you need any kind of updates in this particular tool. So for entire company or for at least for few projects, one quality center admin will be there. And also whatever the fields we are going to see here in another few minutes, all these fields are customizable. That means that, so suppose if you want to add one more field to that particular module, yes, always you can do that. Or if you want to remove one of the field from there, you can remove it. So that is always possible in here. But only thing is, always you have to send a request to your quality center admin, and that particular person can do these kind of changes. So Prasanna has a question here. So we create the documents outside and upload into tool, or we create here. So few things, yes, we can create outside and we can upload, but few things directly we have to do it here. Like requirements and test cases, we can create in the document and you can upload it, but you need a separate add-in for that. Directly it is not possible. In our, there is an add-in which will be provided by the quality center or these particular guys. So once you install that in your system, in your Word document or in your Excel, in the top, you will get an option to export all those test cases and requirements. So whichever you feel comfortable, that approach you can use. So if you have so many licenses, directly you can directly open the application and you can do all the activities here itself. Suppose if you have very less licenses, then you can create or document all the information in the Word document or Excel, and then you can import it. Anything is fine. Yes, Priya, I am recording this session. I'll send the video. Yes, Mamta, I'll come back to the dashboard one more time. I will be explaining one by one module now, and then I'll come back to that dashboard. Uh, Kanina has a question here. Most industries use this tool, or is it more popular in certain industries? So industries in the sense, so it will be used in IT world basically for test management purpose. So it even banking or whatever it is, so we will be developing the software. So yeah, domain doesn't matter here in this particular case. So every domain will use it. Okay. Yeah. Um. Yes, as I told Priya, so we have to install a add-in which will be provided by the HP. So then you will get an option in Excel sheet. We'll talk about it later. Did I miss any questions? Um, yeah. Who is QC admin? QC admin is a person who can manage this particular tool. So there are so many projects will be there in the company, and for most of the companies will be using the same tool, but sometimes they may need additional fields, or they may want to remove some of the fields from the application, or some new person comes, he needs the access to that particular tool. So all these things will be taken care by a person called quality center admin. That's a separate role. It is not a tester. How could we practice? Saima, I will be providing you a registration link. Directly you can register in that particular tool and you can access that particular application. So I will be sending you after the class. Okay, so do BA has direct access to other modules? Do they need to submit any permission request? Other modules in the sense, which modules you are interested in? So normally BAs will have access to requirements, test plan, and test resources. Sorry, test lab. Because even the test defects module also, sometimes they may also involving in the testing activity. In such cases they should be able to prepare the test cases and they should be able to execute the test cases. So that's the reason even they will have the access to this particular tool. Yes, I mean the different modules here. Okay, yeah. So let's start with the first module here. The first module in this particular tool is management. So management module is used for creating or planning purpose, basically to create a plan in the sense in a particular year, total how many releases you are planning to do. Inside each release, how many cycles of testing we are planning to do. To define that, this management module will be used. What exactly release means? Do you have any idea what is release means? Can anyone tell me? What do you think a release means? Software release, deployment, live, sprint release, project, release of a project. Yeah. So release means whatever the functionalities or features we have developed, we have to deliver that particular functionalities to the end user. That particular delivery we will be calling here as release. Depends on the project, depends on the company. You will have multiple releases will be there in a particular year. For example, some companies, if the project is in the beginning stage or they are developing the application from the scratch, in the beginning for first release it will take some time. Later, for every 3 months or for every 6 months, they will be delivering new features to the end users. Okay, so that delivery will be calling here as release. So in a particular year, how many releases we are planning to do, that we can define in this particular module. And other than that, under each release, so in that particular 6 months time or within that 3 months time, how many cycles of testing or how many cycles of development we are planning to do, that information also we can define here. So it is a simple module. It will be used for sorry, planning purpose. So not only creating the releases, you can also define the dates, start date of a release and end date of a release, and start date of a cycle and end date of a cycle. So everything can be defined in this particular area. So I'll show you with examples now. Okay, so how to create the project? So here I am going to create a sample project. Under that project we will be creating these releases and cycles. So the project name I'm going to give here like project 2018. Click on this folder and give the name as project 2018. So there are very few options are there. Even if you go through this tool, you can easily understand. I'm just giving a high level idea. While practicing, you can play with this tool. Nothing will happen. So just click here and there and try to understand. They are also giving the tooltips here. Whenever you keep the cursor, it will tell you what button exactly it is. And here I have defined the name as project 2018, and under that I am going to create two releases now. So release 18.1 and release 18.2. 18.1 will be referring the first 6 months of these 2018, and release 18.2 will be referring the next 6 months of this particular year. So click on this new release button and give the name as release 18.1. Click on OK, and you have to define the dates here, start date and end date. Start date is going to be from January 1st 2018, and end date is going to be from end date will be June 30th. And this is the duration for the first release. So within that release, all the functionalities whatever they have chosen, everything should be developed and everything should be tested, and at the end of June 30th or at the end of the June, we have to deliver that particular product to the end user, or at least that particular functionalities. That's what it means. And in the same way, I'm going to create one more, that is release 18.2, and click on OK. And even for release 18.2, I will be defining the start date and end date. The start date is going to be from July 1st, and end date is going to be December 30th or 31st. I don't know, some problem here. Okay. Yes. So these naming conventions, whatever you want, you can give. There is no restriction like you have to give always release 18.1 or 18.2, something like that. So different companies will name their releases in different ways. So some people will give like some people will say or call with their season names. Some people will say earth, air, something like that. So depends on your requirement, depends on your interest, you can give any kind of names. There is no limitation. But to understand easily, if you can define the releases with the year names are like this, then it will be easy to understand. Okay, so that we can easily understand. Okay, whenever we say release 18.1, that will be referring the first 6 months of the particular year, and 18.2 means in 2018 it will be referring this second 6 months. Under each release, now we are going to create the cycles. What is cycle means? Cycle can be called as an iteration or a round or whatever you want. We can call it with any other thing. So iteration means within this release, how many times we will be doing or conducting the testing activity. So that also we can define in the beginning itself. Or you can say how many types, how many in how many parts the development team is going to develop that particular functionalities. For example, there are 50 requirements are there, and these 50 requirements should be delivered within the 6 months of 2018. So on Jan from in between Jan 1st to June 30th, all the functionality should be developed and it should be delivered. But all 50 cannot be developed in one shot, right? So what they do, they will be again dividing into different cycles. Okay, in the first cycle, this 20 requirements we will develop. In second cycle, we will be developing another 20. and by the end of thought cycle, everything will be developed. So that's how they will be dividing that requirements into other subcategories, so that it will be easy for them to manage, and it will be easy for the management to track. Okay, these many are there, by this time it should be completed, but still it is taking more time. So one of the release is delayed, that means that, or one of the cycle is delayed, that means that, so management will jump into that particular area and they will find out what is the reason for this delay. So if they find the problem is from the end users or clients who is giving the requirements, then they will directly talk to them and they will say that due to you guys, we are not able to develop the application on time, even the delivery will take more time. Suppose if the problem is from our side itself, our guys couldn't understand the problem or the requirement and they couldn't develop the application properly, then we have to identify, the management will should identify the solution and they should try to resolve that problem as early as possible. So let's see how we can create the cycles under this particular release. So once you select the release, only this particular button will be enabled here, and the button name is new cycle. Just click on that and give the name as cycle 1. So here I am giving the names as it is, but in real life, in real time, whatever the names you want you can give, there is no restriction, but it should be meaningful. Once you read that particular name, you should be able to understand what exactly you're talking about. So the second one, cycle 2, and even for cycles you can define the duration. So what I am going to do here, I will be creating only two cycles, cycle 1 and cycle 2. For cycle 1, I am going to give the start date and end date now. Start date is going to be from Jan 1st. So I am defining 3 months duration for each cycle. It can be shorter also, but here I am just defining for 3 months. Okay. So this is the start date and end date for cycle 1. In the same way for cycle 2 also I should do it now. So start date is going to be from April 1st and end date is going to be June 30th. Okay. So till now what we have done, we have created the plan. In a particular year, total how many releases are there, under each release how many cycles of testing or development activity the development and testing team is going to do. So this is the purpose of the management module. As I told you before, this particular module access will not be there for the testing team members or a BA. So this will be taken care by the managers. Mostly the test managers or the development managers will access this information. But whatever the information they are creating here, the project information and the releases information can be accessed across different modules here. So going forward, I will be explaining you one by one so that you can easily understand about it. Okay. We can do multiple cycles. Yes, we can create multiple cycles here, not only one. And this is the way it always work for any kind of projects. SIMR, this is how this is the same process. Can the second cycle vary from the cycle 1? So mostly same duration they will be maintaining here, uh, so that it will be easy for them to track. If someone says I am working in cycle 2, so they will not be able to understand if you change the duration. So normally you will be defining the standard duration. Either it can be 1 week or 2 weeks, but for all the cycles, the same duration normally they will be providing. For first cycle, how much duration they are going to define. For the other cycles also the same duration will be there most of the times. Yes, if you want to give different timings, that is also possible. There is no harm. So whoever has access can change if necessary. Yes, Priya. So only management will have access to these modules. So only they should change it normally. So without knowledge, if you go and change, or I mean, as a tester, if you go and change, it may impact again the complete plan. So that's the reason whoever has complete information, normally the managers will be discussing with the end users and then they will be deciding the dates. So they will define this information here normally in real time. In most of the companies, even the releases duration also will be same in real time. Even that doesn't change. So it's going to be standard. If they decide for every 3 months they will give one release, then they will follow that. In very few cases, when there are so many defects and the application is not stable, in such cases it will be delayed. But most of the times the duration will be standard. Either they will give 4 releases, or either they will give only 2 releases per year. That's how it is. Okay. Yeah. So someone was raising the hand. Did you ask your question in the chat, or anyone has any question? Ah, okay, Priya. Fine. How does this work in waterfall method? Does this model also has different cycles in each release? Yes. So most of the times the quality center will be used for the waterfall itself. For agile process, we have other tool available called Jira, which I will be teaching day after tomorrow. So that time we can understand about it. So this particular tool will be mostly used by mostly used in waterfall model itself. Who creates cycle ID? Cycle ID? What is that? Cycle ID will be created by the tool, it's automatically. So we need not to create anything. So once you give the name and once you save it, automatically the cycle ID will be generated here. Clear? Any other questions? Yes, you can upload the use case diagrams. I'll be showing them. So where you can upload your diagrams or related mockups, wireframes. So whatever you want, you can upload them in this particular tool.